Welcome back, everybody, to the Warlord of SBAS, Torment, Tides of Numenera, episode 116. Last time we got through the little puzzle area, and we went in here and discovered some stuff. Now we're going to go over here and try go into this one and see what's in here. Doo-doo-doo. And we wait. There we go. The light around the door's frame dims and flares like a roaring fire in a high wind. As you approach, the bars of the door shudder and bend. It wants to let you in. Place your hand on the surface and will it open? The door doesn't open at your touch. Instead, you are drawn into the door itself. Okay. The world revolves far below you. A sunset of scarlet flaring in the horizon. To the east, deep indigo shadows fall, painting the planet with darkness. The faintest shimmer of a forest screen distorts your vision, and the exhalation of the station pushes warm, moist air across your skin. With a shock, you realize that the view before you is almost identical to the world you saw as you fell to the earth, just slightly higher. You hold an intricately filigree metal staff. Its carvings slither under your fingers, as if it were alive. You are in a great hall that is more like an organic space than a constructed room. Machinery literally sprouts from the floors and walls, with no sign of where the synthetic metal gives away to the substrata from which it has grown. Though humid, the hall feels clean and fresh, healthy and vibrant, full of promise. A holographic map of the moon hovers at the back wall, near a small glowing pod. A voice speaks as if from the air itself. Are you certain this procedure will give you final control over the cast-offs? If you're mistaken, the chamber may fall, or worse, detonate without you, with you inside. The voice is familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on the identity. Where are you? By your side, as usual. Watching, monitoring. The resonance chamber is ready, insidious. We just need to make sure the body will work as a catalyst. If something happens down there, I'll signal you to move to the next vessel. If we don't get out in time, well, you got me. Let's hear it for redundancy for now. Just settle into the pod and we'll make sure the body will work for us. You pinpoint the source of the voice. It's coming from a staff in your hands. You peer at it more closely, and you see a glowing ghostly image, the holographic advisor from the other mirror. Though this advisor looks different, augmented. It has the ghostly blue line, smoky appearance of the Spectre. It is the Spectre. Yeah, let's try to remember. Yeah, well, it's no harm using 1 point. You study staff and it feels like coming home. It is familiar. It is a familiar friend, a comforting ally. It is the cornerstone to this moon, a key to every lock. You know what it couples your mind weakly, serving as a failsafe and a familiar, a consciousness that is your natural ally. When it speaks with the Spectre's voice, and when it must manifest, it can create a ghostly image of the changing god, original body. Holding it, you feel safe, in control. Remind me how the process works. We're going to run the final assessment in this body. Complete scans review. Title adjustment, if necessary. We'll verify that all the parameters are within tolerance. Sail into the pod. I'll take care of the rest. I don't need to know. I'm not gonna just say that. step into a glowing pod. You glance around the great hall one last time. You get your gaze lingering on the map of the station. You walk to a small chamber near a vast hallway. A deactivated construct stands nearby in a state of perpetual disassembly. Its hand thrust out as if an offering. Near the large control panel outside, a column of spongy, scarlet discs hover silently, reminding you of nothing so much as a giant blood platelets and or congealing scabs. Yummy. You take a deep breath and step into the pod. The staff in your hand vibrates slightly, and you feel yourself bathed in the energies. Remain calm. This is all well within normal parameters. The minor explosion that follows shortly is not sudden. Klaxon's blare. Nearby platelets vibrate furiously, and the deactivated construct's arm begins to spark and flare. Get out! The sorrow is going to destroy you. Your nemesis manifests in the Great Hall. Its form is tenuous, wispy, as it congeals. It gains solidity, and fits and starts. The moon's internal defenses are slowing it, but they will not be enough to keep it out. As you watch, the sorrow shrugs itself past another line of defenses, jerking itself toward a more terrible reality. Its focus snaps toward you. It coils and writhes, desperate to wipe you from existence. Get to another body. We can always make a new kettle go. I don't know. Studying the map. I don't feel like we're gonna fail that. Some multi-level projection. Its orientation layout is prepared in a way that is naturally pleasing to your eye, and you trace the route nearby escape cocoon without difficulty. You have to remember the layout of the halls, but the map is clear enough that you think you can remember the route. Sure. Let's try to activate the robot. The construct itself is beyond repair, but a quick study reveals that each of the construct's limbs were designed for independent power. So even though most of the construct is quiescent, its spiked powered hand is not. Working quickly, you detach it from the construct's frame. It'll be a suitable gauntlet. The power that coursed through it might serve to delay the sorrow's advance. And let's try the platelet. Why not? Yeah. You take hold of one of the discs. Your fingers sink into the spongy material. With a slight twist of your wrist, you detach it from a column entering and holds it. It hums and cycles in a pitch that makes your eyes shudder. With each cycle, the disc shifts your vision, changing the colors you perceive. The tides churn within you as you hold it. It may have some effect on the sorrow. You see, wow. I think you broke something, sorrow. You feel the moon shudder. Then you feel it tear. The alarms of the Great Hall begin to stir. The lights flicker. The moon's moist air suddenly shrieks past you. The sorrow has breached its walls. The hallway branches with countless offshoots piercing the winding passages of the moon. You know that your escape lies down one of these routes. Your study of the map puts you in good stead here. You count down the passages in every landmark that you expect rise when you inspect it. As you race through the halls, you see a small slot in the wall. It holds a firm green gel that you know contains some kind of memory. Sure. Press your forehead to the gel and it soaks into your skin, leaving behind a dry Viridian paste. You're going to You are constructing the staff you hold. The specter speaks over your shoulder. This is strange, isn't it? Knowing that I'm watching you make me my home, that I'm going to be updated in a week with your experiences, that my consciousness will fill this moon, unless so will you, in an unbroken, indefinite chain. You say, I don't hold any illusion about the sanctity of consciousness, but then you knew that already. He laughs. He laughs aloud. This conversation is turning us into a soloist, whatever that means. You smile. You've been called worse. The memory fades. Alright, escape pod. You pound into the bed, the door shutting behind you. Your breath comes hot in your chest. You double over to catch your breath. Several cocoons are arrayed along the outer wall. You'll need to activate one, and it'll spin its webbing around you. The smart membrane is tough, heat resistant, and it will transfer the entirety of the kinetic force away from you at the moment of impact. You see an injection of some sort, but it's across the bay and you might not have time to reach it. The Sorrow tears apart the wall in a fury of light and tidal energy. The flickering energies inside its hood betray no emotion except hunger. It is inscrutable. The most you can hope to do is slow it. Use the gauntlet. You slip the gauntlet over your hand and hold it out in the warning gesture. The energy that blasts from it tears the Sorrow apart. Discordant it utterly. I don't know. Stripping your foe to its component filaments. Honestly, I didn't think that would work, mutters the specter. Silence begins in the bay for a moment, and then the Sorrow manifests again, spreads its acid smoke weaving themselves together. Guess not. You only have one defense left. Your hurly trust it will be enough and get you to the cocoon, and off to the doomed moon. Better to run straight for the only hope to escape. Yeah, just jump in the escape pod. You slip into the cocoon and activate the ejection sequence. And trigger it. The membrane embraces you, forcing you to drop the staff. It begins to slide free of the killing ground of the moon. And then you tattoo places as if it's tearing open an onslaught of the tides, all in blue and silver. A stream of information too fast, too large to process. A mighty blast buffets the cocoon, and you feel one of the Sorrow's inky tendrils caress your cheek and burn into your mind, searing away knowledge and memory even as you tumble toward the earth. Amidst unspeakable pain, you feel something new forming within you, but you lose consciousness before you can identify what it is. And I believe that's the Sorrow we saw in our mind at the beginning. At least I'm guessing. I did it. Yay. The Spectre. I'd hope you would open that for me, and here we are. The Spectre says, and his voice is not tied to his body. It pours from the walls around you, from the shifting floor beneath your feet. It's time for some hard truths, child. Before you can finish, the air twists in the room. An explosion of light, and a scarred figure steps out of it. First guess off. How's this for truth? Her voice is worn and hard behind her mask. The resonance chamber is not mine. It belongs to me and all cast off. I have worked too hard for it to be otherwise. Stand aside, old man, and let us determine our own destiny. His smile is disconcerting. Your destiny? You are part of me. Your destiny was never yours to determine, and the resonance is not yours to claim. He gestures a hand in your direction. Only the last cast-off can open the door. That body and I are the only ones that capable of using the power beyond. You are out of your depth, Muriel, and this no longer concerns you. He ignores her and turns to you. I needed you to open the door, and you've done that. The cage I can handle on my own. His voice presses down on you like a hand, as if trying to drop you to your knees. When I enter the resonance, it will be to return my errant children to my mind where they belong. Lead me to it, and he had no further quarrel. What say you? I'll be a little snarky. Always like being a little snarky. You'd think someone who calls himself the Changing God would learn from his mistakes. Irritation flashed across the translucent face. I'm not here to debate who I am or what I've done. I'm here to claim what's mine. The ground rumbles menacingly beneath your feet. And what is that exactly? He looks at the ghostly form of the Changing God's daughter, as if noticing her for the first time. His surprise is bereft Chewin, whipping across the darkness between you. You, he mutters. You're her ghost, the one that haunts me. My daughter is dead. Do you hear me? I can't bring her back, no matter how hard I try. Is that so? But she apparently has nothing more to say to him. Is that creature my father? He looks like what I remember, but he doesn't feel. He shakes his head. Enough. I don't wish to fight you, cast off, but neither will you keep me from this. What will it be? This is your daughter. She told me so. Spectre Harley looks at her. No, he says. She is not real. I want her to be, but wanting doesn't change anything. My daughter is dead. Now will you let me enter the residence peacefully, or must I force my way in? The residence is not yours to claim. The real Changing God died when I was born. You're just a backup of his memories. You speak in simple terms, the Spectre says, arching an eyebrow. But you're dense, even for one of my cast-off. I'm the Changing God, and you're standing in my way. If you were truly this Changing God, then this woman, she points to the Changing God's daughter, even this woman were just a memory. She should recognize you as her father, don't you think? Gwen looks kindly at the ghostly woman, then back at the Spectre. But I saw it. I saw it on her face when you challenged her. You're a stranger to her. He flinches and turns to face her. She meets his eyes, blinking once, and shakes her head. You're not her, he says, when with more force than force. He repeats himself. You're not her. Of course you don't know me. He turns his head from her entirely, staring into the dark. He growls under his breath. If there's an heir to the mantle of the Changing God, it's me. I've been able to change the past through the mirrors ever since I woke. I don't know what you are, but I know who I am. He snarls and is clear. However, this fact troubles him. He shakes his head. I remember speaking to you on the moon. You're not the Changing God. You're an assistant, an update. He answered slowly, and I said the conversation was turning us into a bleh. And we said we've been called worse. The voice sharpens, but we also said that we hold no illusion about the sanctity of consciousness. That remains true. Enough of this, he mutters, but there is no anger in his voice anymore. No fire, only a great weariness. You're right. At first, I convinced myself I wasn't whole anymore, that something had broken in me, or been left behind. He stares at his hand and through it. But it makes sense. I'm not him. I'm close, as close as anyone. But the changing god is dead.
I'll remember that.
Oh, sweet levels. He lets his hand fall bit by bit. He begins fading away. You did it. He's gone. She barks a short laugh. You've accomplished something I could never achieve. I suppose I owe you my gratitude.
Hey, it looks like you've got this, and
She looks anxiously over her shoulder as though someone had called her name.
I can't stay. I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm glad I got to see you one more time, though.
Me too, Rin. Will I ever meet you again? She bites her lips. I hope so. Keep Torah on you. Maybe if you need me. Well, he called me at once, didn't he? She glances behind her again. Even if he doesn't, you'll always be with me. I wouldn't be who I am without you. Suddenly she lunges forward and throws her arms around you. It's amazing how tall she is, taller than you. Even, she kisses you on the cheek and then pulls back and smiles. Your tears are barely noticeable.
Farewell, my friend. My home and hearth and bread are forever yours.
The portal opens suddenly. The bright light in trees you remember from before spills out of it. Ugh. She waits one last time and turns to step through it. Bye, Ren. I'll miss you. You're one of my favorite characters. Oh, that's sad. I'm sad now. We had to say goodbye to Ren. But we did level. So, let's level. Extra effort. Why not?
I've learned something new.
Increase edge. Extra effort. More effort. Increase edge. Increase effort.
Promising choice.
And you. What's your effort at? It's actually pretty low. Let's. Alright. I kind of wish we can go back to getting a new teammate, but whatever. Alright, let's talk to these two people. See what's up with them. Well, are you going to open it, or do I have to kill you and open it myself? Try it, bitch. You won. How'd, no, do what we came for. Okay. I'm actually going to end this here because it's probably going to be a one long sequence and we're almost done the episode. So we'll leave it here, and next time we're going to go through this door. How exciting. So until next time, remember, embrace the chaos so you go mad. Bye.